In my dream, I woke up on an operating table and I looked down at my body and I was missing a bunch of my skin so I could see into my body. And I was missing a bunch of bones and internal organs, but they were forming as I was looking down into my body. It was like my body was being 3D printed from the inside out. And there were these people around me, and they were kind of dressed like surgeons or doctors or something. And one of them like stabbed me or injected me with a syringe of something, and I fell unconscious. So then I woke up again, and I was still on the operating table, but when I looked down, I had a complete human body. And I looked around the room, and I was in some kind of like sci-fi looking room, and it was dark. It was dark inside the room. And one of the walls was a giant window that was showing me what was outside of the operating room, and it was just the stars, just the night sky. There was no ground or horizon, which means that I was in space. I realized I was in a spaceship. So I got off the table and I started looking around the room at like all the sci-fi machines and tools around me, and I couldn't recognize or understand anything I was looking at. And then I approached a door, and the door opened, and standing on the other side of the door was an alien. And he was the most cliche alien you could possibly imagine. Like a skinny human with green skin, no nose, and big black eyes. You know, that typical little green man Martian thing. And so he held up one hand, and I understood, oh, that's a greeting. So I held up my hand too. And so now that he was aware that I was like lucid and that I was friendly, he started talking to me in perfect English. That's just the way it worked. That's the way it worked in the dream. And he starts explaining to me what my situation is. And this was kind of explained to me like as a series of images, but I'm not going to tell you about images. I'm just going to tell you the story of what happened. So I died about 5,000 years ago, which would be like modern day. Like in 2021, I died. And the exact circumstances of my death, the alien could not tell me. But I died in a way that perfectly preserved my dead body, like a mummy. And the human race went extinct sometime shortly after I died. And recently, which is like the year 7000, some aliens discovered Earth and the ruins of human civilization. And the aliens were like studying Earth like it was this cool mystery to unravel. Like modern day archaeologists would study like Mayan ruins or something like that. And the aliens have this machine that allows them to revert any object back to a previous state. Like if you lit a piece of paper on fire and it turned into ashes, and then you put the ashes into the machine would be able to turn those ashes back into a piece of paper. So they discovered my corpse, right? My like mummified, preserved dead body. And it was like the only human body that was so well preserved, they could put it into their machine, and their machine could convert me from a corpse into a living human being. That's what happened at the beginning of the dream when I woke up on an operating table and I saw my body forming. That's what was happening. The machine was bringing me back. So I ask him, does that mean I'm the only living human being in the universe? And he explains, actually, there is another. He explains to me that about 1 year ago, when the aliens were like doing their archaeology on Earth and looking at ancient fallen, destroyed, the ruins of human civilization, they discovered another perfectly preserved human corpse, like me. It was a woman, They revived her using the same machine that revived me. But when she woke up when she was brought back to life, she was hostile. She started fighting the aliens who revived her. And then when she defeated them, she stole one of their spaceships, and then she just warped away to some unknown part of the galaxy. And since then, like, nobody knows where she's been. But recently there's been a sighting of her, so now they can finally start beginning to track her down. So I guess in a full year of like excavating human ruins on Earth, aliens only ever discovered 2 human corpses that were preserved well enough to transform back into living beings. Me and then the woman that they revived 1 year ago. So they said it was extremely unlikely they would ever be able to revive another human aside from me and her. It was like a miracle they even found 2 people who could be revived. In other words, there's only 2 human beings left in the universe. Me and this woman. And so immediately I start thinking, the only way for the human race to survive is if I can track down that missing woman and start like repopulating planet Earth with her. But considering the fact that she like single-handedly kicked a bunch of alien ass and then stole his spaceship and then successfully figured out how to operate it and then flew away, I don't really know. What am I supposed to expect from this woman? If I track her down and talk to her, would she be cooperative or would she just be hostile? I don't know. But after hearing the alien tell me about this woman, I'm fascinated. And I'm like, dude, I want to track her down. I want to see if I can find her and like learn more about her, get to know her or something. We're the last 2 humans in the universe. This is interesting. And so I tell the alien, hey, if you want to go, if you're going on a mission to like find that missing woman, then bring me along. Maybe I can help. And the alien is happy because he was hoping to hear that. That's exactly what he wanted to do. And then like the alien introduced me to 2 other aliens on the ship. And each one of them had a specialty. Like the first one that I spoke to was a doctor. And the next one I'm introduced to is like this big muscular guy. So I know he's like the muscle of the group. And then the other one is like this slick ace hotshot pilot, I guess. It's whatever that was supposed to be about. And so the 4 of us, like the doctor alien, the muscle alien, and the pilot alien, and me, the human, are going to embark on a journey through the galaxy to find the only human woman in existence to try and save the human race. And that's where the dream ended. It feels like it's the like episode 1 of like a TV show or something. I want to know what happens next. What kind of intergalactic adventures do I go on? This was such a fun premise.